It's the Lowdown. I'm Luke Dinger. A little bit of a change this week. It's July 15th, Saturday, 2023. And for the meantime, we'll see how it goes in the foreseeable future. But Derek is not on the podcast. We're going solo for a little while. So don't go anywhere quite yet. All right, we're still talking about plenty of things. All right, Final Fantasy XVI. I think I'm going to avoid Indiana Jones 5 this week. You can't blame me. And I don't know, talk a little bit about Baldur's Gate 3. You know, I want to just hit a couple of big subjects right now before getting into the nitty-gritty of the regular week-by-week type of format. I just want to readdress, you know, big topics while we are reformatting, going solo. I think that makes sense, yeah? So, all right. Now, I want to talk about Final Fantasy 16. I do. And the background, in fact, is not always going to be this. Check this out. We're going to do some different things with the podcast now. We're going to switch over to IGN. We're going to switch over to Metacritic. We're going to do all kinds of things now. Okay? And what we're going to look at here, the Final Fantasy 16 review on Metacritic. The meta score. It's getting well reviewed. It's getting well reviewed. You can see people are liking it. And even though like most of these feel like totally fake reviews to me, all right, there it is. Okay. This is how I feel about Final Fantasy 16. Okay. I don't like it. All right. I'm a Final Fantasy fan. I have been for a long time. Here I am typing in the wrong stuff. And am I a fan of the fact that it's going turn-based? No. I said that wrong. Am I a fan of the fact that it's not being turn-based now? No, I'm not. I don't think that this game being not turn-based is the reason why it's bad. I do not think that at all. Not for a single second. I think that the game's just way too easy. And yeah. There have been plenty of, you know, games that have been easy, and it hasn't been about, you know, the gameplay of it all.
We don't sprint.
You know, it's been about other stuff. It's been about the story. It's been about the development of the characters. It's been about even the environments sometimes. But I think this is one of those cases where this game, like, it provides no challenge for so long. Okay, have a fight into a cutscene. Have another fight into a cutscene. I know I'm just having this random ad play right now. All right, so maybe I can just pull up an example of this real quick. And sorry if, you know, I'm throwing spoilers at you. I don't mean to, believe me. Alright. But, here we go.
They're probably asking themselves the same thing. We're the ones trespassing here. They're just protecting their home.
So, you'll see. You know, this game is Cutscenes the video game.
Jill, look. I'm
I'm really hoping right now that we're gonna get a scene. Alright, ready?
Is that some kind of
We're
mural?
gonna walk forward
It's worth a closer
a little
look, whatever it is.
into a big open area. I wonder what's gonna happen down there. You know, I have a friend that's very big on exploration in video games, and he's also a really big fan of Final Fantasy. And this game couldn't have been a bigger disappointment for him, where he just deleted it eventually. I'm further in the game now than he is. I also don't want to make it seem like I'm just trying to throw shade at this game. I truly and I don't think the story's like bad. The whole thing is not captivating me. I feel like I'm just like sitting there waiting for another cutscene to start up, it's a cutscene generator. It feels like Telltale. But Telltale would get me more into it because it just was more compelling the way it was built. This is like, hey, want to walk down these stairs into another cutscene, and you have no idea how many times this happens in this game. I couldn't care about the leveling up. I always have good stuff. It's not a big deal. Similar to what I was talking about early in the podcast, early episodes with the Dead Space successor there, Callisto Protocol. That game was just so easy. I was selling my health. I was selling my ammo. Like, I didn't need anything. And I feel this way in this game as well. I'm skipping all the side content for the most part at this point. I'm just trying to get through, and it doesn't even affect really anything that's happening. Yeah, so I'm sorry. Hey, throw in your feedback on Final Fantasy 16. Fight me on it. All right? Fight me. Let's see what you got. Baldur's Gate 3 has been great as well. I've played Baldur's Gate 1, but I have not played Baldur's Gate 2. And from what I played with Baldur's Gate 1, that was one of the hardest games I ever played. And shout out to all these YouTubers out there throwing the videos up. Let's see how that goes. I'm not throwing long ones though. I just want something. I feel like I'm just trying a new format. See how it goes. And actually, let's turn that down a little bit. That might help me out a little. And if you like D&D, if you like exploration, you like RPGs, Baldur's Gate 3 is probably going to be one of your most favorite games you have played in a long, long time. I've been excited for this. I've been knowing it's going to be good. But when I started it up, I mean, I got feelings. I got feelings from a game again, just from starting it. Yeah, I miss that. And this gave me that to an extreme degree. I think this is Game of the Year contender if it wasn't for Zelda. Zelda's gonna, with all the Nintendo fanboys out there, they're gonna get their way. They're gonna get their Zelda Game of the Year, I think. But I think this Starfield, just in case, Baldur's Gate 3, I mean, is just an amazing RPG. I've played some of the first one, but I mean, I'm just blown away at how much the in-depthness goes with Baldur's Gate 3. I mean, there's so many different characters. I had a character I saved early on with my barbarian class using one of those specific class parts to get her out. And you could have just as easily gone by that part and she would not have lived. So it's craziness. It's craziness. Baldur's Gate 3 is great. I can't wait for that to release. I'm so pumped. I couldn't be more pumped. Dragon's Age. If you're a fan of Dragon's Age, this is that kind of thing where Dragon's Age was actually, inspired by Baldur's Gate. So now Baldur's Gate 3, similar to like God of War, the remakes or reboots, they are taking all these different elements from other games that work into their game and trying to make their game the best they can from it. You just wait for Baldur's Gate 3 to come out. I mean, and if you're a console player, unfortunately, you got to wait till the end of August. But I'm telling you right now, it's going to be worth the wait. It's going to be amazing. Baldur's Gate 3, I couldn't be more excited. I really couldn't. I'm going to be streaming it tonight. I can't wait. I literally can't wait. Throw out some other nerdy IPs, too. The Witcher. The Witcher's got the show. Season 3 just came out. I watched a little bit of it. I watched part of the first episode. I see a lot of people tearing it apart online. This one of the first things I noticed, I've read part of this book that this season is based off of, and I actually just started rereading it recently because I'm like, I don't know what happens in The Witcher eventually. I'd like to know. Picking it up instead of reading Lord of the Rings again. So, there's this part where these people want to know about Dandelion's songs because he is singing about Ciri, or Cirilla, the granddaughter of the Cintra Queen, right? So, Calanthe. I know my Witcher a little bit, actually. And just these people, they need to know about Cirilla. They want to know if she's still alive. Everybody thinks she's dead when Cintra was attacked by the Nilfgaardians, right? So they, chase him, and they end up in this, pigsty underneath a building, and they knock him out, and he wakes up, and he's all tied up, and he's got, a bucket of lime attached to his feet, and his hands are all tied up, and they're gonna raise him up and essentially break his hands so he can't play the lute anymore if he doesn't tell the truth. And this part in the show is literally, this does not happen. The show is so inaccurate, it's not even funny. And I remember when season 2 went down, and I can't even remember the character's name right now. Shame on me. That turns into a Lesh in season 2 that is actually alive throughout the entirety of the books and the games. That was a big dagger to the heart for a Witcher fan. And I remember so many of my friends had not read The Witcher or were into The Witcher the way I was, and they were like, what's wrong with this dude? It's cool. It was a cool episode, but it just wasn't the story. It wasn't supposed to be what was happening in The Witcher. It'd be really nice to get it accurate. One thing I saw somebody say too was, The Witcher, you could have had a Lord of the Rings killer on your hands, and you just, all these bad things. Another thing is, I see all this bad talk being thrown around about Henry Cavill, about how he was toxic and against the females, cis toxicness, because the directors, and it's they don't know what they're doing, and that has become more and more clear, I think, to the actual fans of The Witcher. Come on, it's just so unfortunate, I think, when you have your first real take at one of these IPs, and it's just such a disappointment, And it's we got Henry Cavill. There's parts about this show that are great, and others that are not. So Lord of the Rings, I think, is always the perfect example. We have the best Lord of the Rings movies already. So if they make anything more with Lord of the Rings, it's okay to me, because I can always still go back to those original movies and be happy. Sure, it might get Marvel-fied and I'm so sick of Lord of the Rings. I'm so sick of Star Wars, right? So you don't want it to get to that point, but at least there's still those originals. And I guess you can say the same thing about Star Wars, even though it doesn't feel that way anymore either. However, I don't think anybody's going to go to the level that Disney is willing to go, to these things. There should be a dedicated studio, I believe, for Star Wars, over just letting Disney have free reign. I mean, sure, Disney is going to do what Disney's going to do at the end of the day, with Marvel, but there's Marvel Studios to help balance that out, right? Where's our Star Wars studios? I think it might help if we're going to make so much Star Wars content, you know? Let's make Star Trek good again. Yeah. Yeah, like I was saying, Indiana Jones 5, I don't have anything for you. I haven't seen it. Everyone's talking about how bad it is, so I've stayed away. But I feel bad just because, you know, I feel like I should have something to say on here about it. But it's okay. Right? Hey, we'll live. We'll live. And, yeah, the podcast is going to be a lot shorter now. Just me. I don't have someone to banter with and just go off about old stuff. You know, so it is what it is. I'm watching Succession still. Loving it. Like, beginning of season 3 now. So that's been a lot of fun. Been digging it. Magic came out with those Lord of the Rings cards. Got those. I got decks going. I got a nice Mordor deck building up. It's kind of... I need to work on it more, though. I need more Lord of the Rings cards. I need to either lean towards the Ring Wraiths or lean towards Gollum. You know, one or the other, I feel like, is the way to kind of build that deck for the cards I have in it. But, hey, yeah, I feel like it's going to be harder for me to be putting out consistent podcast episodes that are actually full length. Part of why I'm saying they're gonna be shorter now. There's just it's all on one person. It's a lot more to, you know, a lot more to deal with. And I hate to be like stumbling on my words right now a little bit, but it's my first week doing this on my own. You know? Just wondering. I saw some mobile game come out actually. First-person shooter. I was a little curious about that, even though I'm sure it's not too good. Arena Breakout, that's what it's called. If you're curious about that, you're going to need a Final Fantasy 16 walkthrough. Yeah. So you can walk through a hallway and enter a cutscene, right? Yeah. How do you get the best weapon in FS? Yeah, I'm dying to know that stuff. Because, you know, the game isn't easy enough already. Oh, yeah, hey, Hugh Jackman in the Wolverine suit. Awesome. I thought that was great. They will probably rip those sleeves off at some point, I'm betting. I saw some other stuff, too, about somebody saying, like, you know, they have to recreate the meme of him sitting on the bed looking at the picture of the frame. Oh, my God. That would be so good. I would love that so much. Yeah, hey, sorry also if you're on Spotify because, you know, I will be putting the videos up on Spotify, so you can always still watch it, but, I mean, when it comes to being audio-based, not so much anymore. It's very, very video-focused on this podcast now, especially going forward solo. It's like I don't have someone else to rely on. I have a screen to rely on now instead. Yeah. Oh my God. There's a new Wario game coming out. Or is this just a dance and move Wario game? Oh, here we go. This is what I want to see.
Report time. If you're heading out, it's a no-go zone. We've got a rogue dinosaur out here. Oh, hi, Chihuahua.
It's time to move it, Wario style. Get ready for more micro game mayhem in the latest WarioWare game.
Well, it's a Wario game.
Hold 2 Joy-Con controllers, then action. Move your body to take on a flurry of lightning-fast micro games. What you do and how you move depends on the micro game. React quickly with the right
It's way
movement,
more what
and
I
you'll be
want
on
out
the
of a
road to
Wario game
victory.
too.
Excellent.
My last couple entries have been
You've got
disappointing
two
to me.
pairs of controllers.
This
Play
is
with a
like
friend in local
the
co-op.
movement,
Sync up
having
your
fun.
actions to beat each micro game. Plus, up to 4 players can live it up across various mini games in party mode. For example, this dicey board game is going to keep you on your toes. Get your body moving in over 200 lightning-fast micro games. In WarioWare, Move It! Launching on the Nintendo Switch system November 3rd. Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo.
Can't wait for that. Can't wait for that. And Pikmin 4 is right around the corner. I can't wait for that either. I'll be streaming that. I'll be playing that like no one's business. I mean, who doesn't want to play some Pikmin? On Barbieheimer Day. Unfortunately, I probably won't be seeing either on that day. But I will be seeing those movies. I want to talk about those on this podcast. Big time. Yeah, I want to keep everything going forward. And if anybody could give me any kind of feedback, that would be cool. You know? I'd love that. Because now I'm really on my own. So the feedback would be very useful to me. Thank you. Thank you for that. But I'm thinking, yeah, these podcast episodes, we're keeping them on the shorter side. I'm thinking 20 to 30 minutes. Right now, I'm going to give you just a breakdown on how everything's going now. I mean, if you've seen the channel update video, you know what I'm talking about, but we're going to do one edited video a week on the channel. If you're on Spotify, if you're on Apple Podcasts, you should really get over to YouTube to check out all the other content that's going on besides just the podcast. And then you'll see on YouTube, I tell people if they like the streams to watch it on Twitch because there's better quality there. It's all connected, you know. So the YouTube channel, The Lowdown with Luke Dinger, that is the new name now, people. Okay, even if Derek wants to come back, you know, there's a lot of personal things going on, and it just seems like this is going to be the way it's going forward. So I mean, it could change, it could go back, you know, if Derek truly wants to be like involved, you know, again. But we'll see what happens. And you know, it's not anything also like, oh, we got in some kind of fight. No, it's nothing like that. It's totally like Derek he needs to do his own thing. It's a personal related thing. So it's all good. But I really want to keep this going. I really want to keep building, you know. And I would like some feedback. That would be great at some point. So I'm looking forward to Pikmin 4. I can't wait to play that. That's right on the cusp of coming out. So that's going to be what the next episode's going to be about big time. If I can maybe find something else to talk about real quick, yeah? Get out of the Wario. See what else is going on. Pokemon Go Plus Plus. There we go. Who doesn't want to play Pokemon Go Plus Plus? More Deadpool 3 production hold. This movie is never going to come out. I say that about every movie. Yeah, Crash Bandicoot would be one of the best PS1 games ever made. I would agree with that. Oh, Fortnite. I actually kind of like Fortnite. Everyone loves the bear, too. I have not watched that as well, though. Whoa, these NFT. And, of course, this is the movie with the NFT bullshit going on. Isn't that cool? Oh, Marvel Secret Invasion. I have not talked about this show at all. I've not watched this show at all. I tried watching episode 1. I couldn't even get into it. I got to re-watch it, essentially. Yeah, Marvel is really, I think, falling off. Like, no one's business. Yeah. I'm sorry, what? Homelander's in Call of Duty? Do I need to re-download Call of Duty right now? I'm actually pretty good at Call of Duty. So I bet I could get some views, you know. VR skater. I can only imagine what that's like. It's got to be weird. I'm trying to set up a VR stream soon too. But yeah, like I was saying, one edited video a week, you know, like kind of like a review, maybe highlights, some kind of mixture of the two. One podcast episode a week right here. Haha. And daily streaming except for Fridays. So check it out. It's The Lowdown with me, Luke Dinger.